What is up, guys? I'm up here. Welcome back to another video, and today this is going to be episode 2 of my coding tutorial series of Bukkit, and so we're going to get right into it. So this episode we're going to cover more advanced commands, more advanced ways of doing the commands, as well as event handlers. Okay, so let's get right into it. So the first thing we want to do for a more advanced command is in our onEnable method we want to do git command then blah dot set executor new and then let's just say a class like new what should the command be? New slash I don't know, I can't think of a command to do. Just say ASD, I don't know. And now it will give us an error saying we have to create the class. But so first thing first, we have to create this class, and so as soon as we create the class, it will generate an auto-generate stub, and also delete that part. That was from something else. Anyway, so now that we have this command executor set, this is basically on the command ASD, it sets the executor to this file. So we have each file for a separate command. So it will auto-generate this public boolean command like the rest of our stuff, but we can do some more advanced things. Like, so first things first, we just redefined all the we just defined the string array. I accidentally hit print screen and args. Okay, so this is our command, our public boolean on command. But here we can also, the features of doing this is that we can write a method like private void hi with player, and then player dot send message yo. Okay, so what's gonna say, yeah, it's never used locally, but so now we can call methods for our own command. So while we can't do this, this is just a way better way of doing it, is having command executor for each command. So first thing we want to do is create an if statement. If sender instance of player, if they are not an instance of a player, it's gonna say we don't have a return statement. Return false. Actually, I don't think we need the, I don't even think we need the brackets here. Let me just try something. Return false. Yeah, that works. Okay, so now we can do player equals the player sender, and then we can do, because we already have the commands ASD set, we don't even have to like create an if statement of the command. We can just say a player dot send message chat color dot red. Let's just say red. Also, correction, the Bungie of last episode, Bungie color and chat color are the exact same thing. Doesn't matter which one you use. ASD, and then we can also do hi player. So there we just called the method. So yeah, we just called the method now. So when they get the command ASD, it will say yo and then ASD. And let's just define chat color.gold. Okay, so there is our command. This is a more advanced version of a command, because now we can write different methods and stuff for that. Yeah, that we can call in our on command statement, and it will make it way easier to do various things. Now that we set the executor, we're going to now talk about event handlers. So the event handler is basically when something happens, do this. So now we are going to create an event handler at event handler, and then public void on, and then a public void on egg throw. So we're just going to define and then player egg throw event e, and then I have to import import both those. Now that we import both those, also, yeah, I should probably talk about this. There's a list of events, Bukkit list of events. Yeah, this is one of the most useful things ever. It's a whole useful list of events. Most of the player stuff is, yeah, and so that's just useful. I might put the link of that in the description. And then player equals e.get player. Yeah, so player equals e.get player, and then player.send message. Okay, I don't know what that message is. I just put chat color green plus 3x. Okay, so now we have an event handler, and there's a whole list of events. I just once I check something, I'm just making sure I'm doing this right, listeners. Damage player. Oh, 1 sec. Okay, so yeah, shoot, I was doing that right. I'm just making sure. Okay, so here we, have our entire event handler and our advanced thing. So now we have to add our ASD to our plugin.yml, and so I'm just gonna add this. ASD, and then dash command, description, I don't know. Okay, so we just have to add that to our plugin.yml, and so we have now more advanced commands, as well as the we can do event, and well, I've showed you how to do event handlers. Now there's one more thing you have to do to make your events work, is that you have to do bucket.get server.get plugin manager .register events, and then if you had a custom listener for each event, you would do new blah blah. But because we don't have that, we are going to just do this, which will refer to this object, and so we register events this, and then we have this implement the class of, or the interface of listener. Sorry, not a class. It's not a class. All right, so now we save this and export this to next tutorial.jar. Export this. Now, what the crap? Why did it fail? Details. That's weird. Finish. Yes. Okay, so I had it failed it randomly. Documents coding tutorial server.bat. Going to run this now and open my Minecraft. Also, if you're wondering, it's Squid HQ, so that's why it doesn't have a Minecraft icon. So yeah, it's always best to do a new command for a new class for each command, mainly because the fact that I'm going to talk about even more advanced commands later on, and where you have a command manager, and basically you put them all under a format, and then it allows you to have arguments and stuff like that. That's how you do the commands later on, but I'll talk about that later. So now I'm going to just join localhost, and okay, so we have an egg already. So firstly I can do /asd yo asd, so it goes to the code where I called the method yo, and then asd. It's a bit weird, but that's how you do it. And then now that we've made our event handler, public void on egg throw, is we see this when I throw an egg, it will say this, although note that the egg event only registers when the egg lands. That's just a thing to note for your code. So yeah, that's a thing. There are other events we can do, but for the most part, just use this list for whatever you want. Yeah, and then for most part, if you want to figure out what things you can define with it, just do e.get whatever, and these are the different things on what you can get. So yeah, thank you. That's all that I have for today. Thanks for watching, and until next time, see ya. When you have trouble, this is the most failed intro ever.